For years, many people believed that keeping a laptop plugged in all the time would destroy the battery. The common advice was to unplug it often, let the battery drain and only charge it when necessary. But if you look around today, in offices, classrooms, and homes, you'll notice something interesting. Most laptops stay plugged in almost constantly, and yet they seem to work just fine for years. So what's actually going on here? Is leaving your laptop plugged in really bad for the battery, or is that just an outdated myth? Modern laptops are far smarter than many people realize, and the way they manage power has changed a lot over the years. Today, we're going to explore what really happens inside your laptop when it's plugged in, how modern batteries work, and why staying connected to the charger can actually help your laptop stay healthier in the long run. Right here on History of Simple Things. Most modern laptops use lithium-ion batteries. These batteries are very different from the older nickel-based batteries that were common in electronics decades ago. Older batteries suffered from something called the memory effect, which meant they performed better if they were regularly drained and recharged. Because of this, people developed the habit of letting devices completely discharge before plugging them back in. Lithium-ion batteries don't work that way at all. In fact, they prefer the opposite. These batteries are happiest when they stay somewhere in the middle of their charge range rather than constantly swinging between empty and full. Inside your laptop, there's also a sophisticated battery management system. This system monitors voltage, temperature, and charge levels to protect the battery from damage. It controls how power flows between the charger, the battery, and the computer itself. This means the laptop isn't simply charging non-stop when it's plugged in. Instead, the system carefully manages when charging should stop and start again. A lot of people imagine that once their laptop hits 100%, electricity keeps pouring into the battery endlessly. Fortunately, that's not how modern laptops work. When the battery reaches full charge, the charging circuit usually stops sending energy to the battery. Instead, the laptop begins drawing power directly from the charger. The battery essentially steps aside and takes a break. Think of it like a hybrid car switching power sources. The battery isn't constantly being pushed beyond its limits. It's simply sitting there while the laptop runs on external power. Only when the battery level drops slightly, often by a few percent, will the system top it up again. This prevents constant charging cycles that could wear the battery down. Because of this design, leaving your laptop plugged in doesn't mean it's endlessly charging. Most of the time, the charger is simply powering the laptop itself. The biggest factor that affects lithium-ion battery lifespan isn't being plugged in, it's charging cycles. A charge cycle happens when a battery uses up an amount of energy equal to 100% of its capacity. That doesn't have to happen all at once. For example, using 50% of your battery one day and another 50% the next day counts as one full cycle. Every battery is designed to survive a certain number of cycles before its capacity gradually declines. For many laptops, that number is somewhere around 300 to 1,000 cycles. When you constantly unplug and drain your laptop battery, you use up these cycles faster. But when the laptop stays plugged in most of the time, the battery cycles much less frequently. In other words, fewer cycles often means slower long-term battery wear. If leaving your laptop plugged in isn't the main problem, what actually harms batteries the most? The biggest enemy is heat. Lithium-ion batteries degrade faster when they operate at high temperatures. Heat speeds up the chemical reactions inside the battery, which gradually reduces its capacity. This is why laptops that run very hot, such as gaming laptops under heavy loads, may see their batteries age faster. However, this heat usually comes from the laptop's processor or graphics chip, not from the charger itself. If a laptop has good cooling and airflow, being plugged in isn't likely to cause serious battery damage. So the real priority for battery health isn't unplugging the charger. It's keeping the laptop cool and well ventilated. Many laptop manufacturers actually design their devices with plugged-in use in mind. After all, laptops often function as portable desktops, spending long hours connected to power. Some modern laptops even include smart charging features that limit how full the battery gets. Instead of charging to 100%, they might stop at around 80% when they detect that the laptop is mostly used on a desk. This reduces battery stress and can extend its overall lifespan. Companies like Apple, Dell, and Lenovo have introduced adaptive charging systems that learn user habits and automatically adjust charging behavior. These technologies are designed specifically for people who keep their laptops plugged in most of the time. Even though staying plugged in is generally safe, there are a few situations where unplugging your laptop can still be beneficial. For example, occasionally letting the battery discharge to around 30–40% can help keep the battery monitoring system calibrated. This helps the laptop estimate battery percentage more accurately. It's also a good idea to unplug your laptop if it's getting unusually hot while charging, especially during heavy tasks like gaming or video editing. But these are more about maintaining balance, not strict rules. You don't need to constantly micromanage your battery the way people once did. So, does keeping your laptop plugged in ruin the battery? In most cases, no. Modern laptops are designed with intelligent power management systems that stop charging when the battery is full and run the computer directly from the charger. Lithium-ion batteries actually experience more wear from repeated charge cycles and high heat than from simply staying connected to power. As long as your laptop stays cool and uses a proper charger, leaving it plugged in most of the time is usually perfectly fine and may even help your battery last longer. So the next time someone tells you that keeping your laptop plugged in is bad for the battery, you'll know the truth. Modern laptops are smarter than that. Thank you for watching. If you have suggestions for our next video, feel free to share them in the comments below. We'll be sure to give you an acknowledgement for your contribution. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of simple things. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more stories woven through the smallest details.